Let's unlock the history and the mystery of the Heroes Guild. Slight spoilers. We're going into the remnants of the Heroes Guild. As you can see from this screenshot that spoils the game, we're going to the Chamber of Fate. That's our destination. But to get through it, we must go through the old tomb. Here's a mechanic about the doggy. Get scared, cheer him up, or give him a treat, and they get right back up. Don't give him a treat, though, because treats are used to heal them, and that's a waste. Just give him a bit of an expression. Cheers. Use the expression wheel. For example, cheer, you could heal him if you need to, or praise him.
Jump into that hole to continue.
I don't heal him.
The water at the bottom will break your
okay.
fall.
I don't heal him unless he needs healing, and you'll know by the limp. No problem for a hero. The dog will limp once he takes a certain amount of damage, of course. As I'm sure you know. I did not set my timer. Let me set my timer real fast. It takes a second and it's done. That was the timer song. So, the dog, Peter Molyneux is known for kind of being exaggerating the promises of his games. Quick note, I love this. Enemy intros. Check it out. Oh, jeez, it's so loud. New enemy pops up, it's like, ooh, the enemy. I'm going to use a little bit of this just to kind of keep him on my back. Peter Molyneux has been known for kind of giving grand exaggerations of what a game will be like down the road. And Fable kind of, well, Fable's one of his games, so it obviously suffered. He promised that the dog can get damaged and it will limp along and it won't be useful. Ooh, hello. Otherwise, silver key. Nice. And Peter Molyneux suggested like a really impactful world, like what you do really impacts what happens in the world. And he said something about like, say you your dog gets hurt and you're a bad guy, you decide to not heal him, then you can like down the road you'll be at a bar hitting on a tavern wench or whatever, getting drunk, having a grand old time.
Experience of the creatures that you kill.
Someone whispering in the game? I think I'm going crazy. You having a grand old time, drinking ale, hitting on the local wenches, when your dog will stumble in, hurt, stumble up to you, and everyone will realize, oh, you haven't healed your dog. Why are you so mean to your pet? And people will dislike you. It doesn't quite work like that. This, however, works exactly as you would imagine. The color skates. Oh, I did not notice this down here before. Okay. Huh. That's a representation of a treasure ripple in the game. There's no fishing in the game. There's only those now. And also there's only Zool. But, yeah, the dog doesn't quite work like that. It does get hurt and it won't like do anything until you heal it. And I think people might dislike you if they're around you when that happens. The mace is stronger, but much slower. Not by much, actually. Fair enough. It's one of those trade-offs you gotta think later in the game with weapons. You could have a big, strong... like in the first game, actually. The strongest weapon in the game wasn't the legendary Avo tier or Sword of Aeons, which were the ultimate good guy and ultimate bad guy swords. It was just some legendary axe. But it was heavy and slow, so it attacked more infrequently and made it less useful because DPS. Now, you gotta think of that. You gotta think of that in this game. Oh, yeah, check these guys because there's a little bit of a loot thing going on here. I'm not going to do it, partially because this isn't going to be the save file I'm using for the rest of the thing. Whatever. But you talk to all three of them, and then there's a ripple in the lake. Actually, I think you... Oh, talk to all three of the skellings. But there should be a ripple in the lake right here? Oh no, you do have to examine all three corpses for it, huh? But you examine all three corpses, you get the notes, and it says, oh, I threw it in the river. It's an augment that is the bewitching augment, which makes you look better to people. It's whatever. It's not that worth it. But, gosh, I forgot what I was saying again. When you... Don't you hate it when, like, you forget something and then you try to remember it and then you just, like, push it? It's like when you knock something over and you try to reach for it, but the act of reaching for it makes it fall harder and worse. It's ridiculous. Gosh, that was my train of thought too. I was going to go off on that, but I don't remember. So, I'll just talk about the combat. The combat is different, as you can see, on the Xbox 360. Don't just stand there, Mr. Hero. The, in the lore of the game, strength is represented with... Strength and power and physical combat is represented with red in pretty much all of fantasy ever. And magic is represented with blue. And in this game, if you get enough spells, you have magical blue tats that appear on you. Like the guy we encountered earlier, he's very powerful in the will. That's why he has those blue veins. They're not special tattoos. They're the essence of will just showing themselves on him. But, wow, this only took 5 minutes to get through this. That's incredible. But, yeah, leveling up your attributes affects your character. Like, strength makes you bulkier, skill makes you taller, and whatnot. If you get enough spells, you can get blue aura. But, in this game, spell experience, will experience, is red because that's the button on the controller that uses that power. Whoa. Don't know what that was about. Oh, I got here? I don't know. And, melee is blue because that's the button on the controller that is. Makes sense, I guess, but it's just kind of like, kind of confusing. Not confusing. I guess it'd be... Oh, because we haven't gone through it yet. It's not as confusing, I guess, as it could be. But just too much of a change to the format that... it makes sense that they have to do it that way for the sakes of controller and whatnot, but I don't know. I just prefer it the other way. Because it's tradition, you know? You don't just change tradition like that. Unless you do. So there's something I want to talk about in this next room. This is a side area. It's a little side area that you can... A little optional area. We'll get to that. Oh! Beetles. Beetles. Experience that will be kind of not really worth it. The Tattered Spire. Oh, that's probably not important. Hero of Oakvale. So, it's stated that the hero of Oakvale used the Sword of Aeons to defeat Jack. This was 500 years ago, so chances are some of the information got lost and twisted. Because in order to obtain the Sword of Aeons, the hero had to kill his own sister. And considering it is confirmed, super hardcore confirmed, that the person that's helping us on our adventure, Teresa, is that person from 500 years ago. So unless she got struck down and still survived somehow, which is unlikely because the Sword of Aeons is super evil magic, then I don't know. But the ending you choose for that's the base game ending, depends on, nice, health potions. Throwing away the sword forever, or killing your sister and taking the power for yourself. Decide, if you do the evil ending with taking the sword for yourself, then the credits will basically say, like, oh yeah, you went super evil, you did a bunch of evil things, and people are scared of you. And the portrait we'll see here shows you, like, evil with, like, an evil cloak that's, like, flowing in the wind, like, ah ha ha, evil. But the one we're gonna see is the good guy ending, in which you throw away the sword and you become a virtue, and you become awesome and a hero, and you go out of your way to help people and stuff. This is the good guy ending. So, there's no possible way you could have used the Sword of Aeons. My guess is 500 years, information probably got a little warped. Because you used the arrow owls here. Which was created with the energies of a vortex, which is pretty metal, I have to say. Good guy ending right there. But I don't get why Teresa here thinks, or says that the hero used the Sword of Aeons. I think she says it in some of her dialogue. If she doesn't, then I'm probably just going crazy like I usually am. But she was there. She literally was there.
Learn the true power
to see
of heroes.
her, like, in this room, specifically in this room. She said, "Hey, here's your choice, brother. I said so long ago, those many years ago." And she saw him throw the sword in the vortex. So why would she say he... Maybe just to keep up with publicity or whatever? I don't know. Honestly, if I got a bunch of power
You can now
released in me, I would probably go, yeah, too. So our hero is the descendant of the hero in the first game, which I guess makes through Teresa a great aunt. Great aunt or something. A couple greats. I don't feel like doing the math on that. Portcullis Gate, we need a magic, but I want to talk about this chest real fast. You can read the subtitles. This site, I'm not even sure if it's still up, but if you go there and complete the minigame, which talks about another hero who is most likely sweet. This character's father, or this character Rose's father, or mother, the parent of this person, of the playable character, and you can get different outfits, like chicken costume, and yes, you can get an outfit that looks like Master Chief's armor.
Look within yourself.
And you can get a Master Chief's weapon later on too. So I don't know what happens if you choose like time control, or you put your points in strength or something and you can't get out of here.
Excellent.
You might have to fight your way back, but
well done.
You know, electricity is a good standard spell. You can always de-level them, I believe, for a fraction of the experience. But this is good because, like, bandits and stuff, spoiler alerts, you're going to fight bandits. You can shock them and it stuns them for a second or two. Which is good when you're surrounded by 3 or 4 of them. Oh, this game actually has co-op. It's along the veins of, if you remember the Lego games, where the characters share a screen and the screen kind of pulls with each person stepping away from it. It's not that great of a... It's not that great. Because you don't play as your character. You play as... What? Oh, okay. You play as a random mercenary. I'll probably show that off at some time. I'm sure one of my friends who likes Fable will come over sometime and we'll play through this, or play through some of it. But yeah, a second player can join in on a game as a certain type of people, a good person or a good-looking person, evil-looking person with different types of weapons they can choose. I don't know which way I'm going. Quest guide, help me. Okay, thank you. But in 3, though, both your characters are your own separate story characters, so that's good. In this game, not so much, fortunately. So, and because of the whole screen sharing, it's not in the 3rd game, where both players can like just go off on their own in areas. In this game, both characters have to be on the screen at the same time, so it kind of stretches. It's super not good, man. I don't like it one bit. There's a silver chest around here, too, that I saw that I want to get real fast, actually. Because I don't remember what's in it. In fact, the guide I has doesn't say anything about what's in the chest. Money bags over here. Where is... Oh, there it is, actually. Right over here. And... Oh, that's a bunny. Yeah, you can take out the bunnies in this game, but you have to turn your safety off. And they cause, evil points to happen to you. Hopefully it's a strength potion or something. Oh, it's a dog book. Okay, yeah, that's fine. You can teach your dog tricks, emotions, emotes, and main character as well. And you kind of need to for one of the demon doors, actually. Silver keys can be fit in, blah, blah, blah. But, I'll explain XP potions later on when we discover some. Or get to the potion shop. I gotta say, I'm really like how much better the cards look in this game. Like, they look like people compared to the first game, where they look like mindless brutes, mindless nobodies who were just out to be NPCs to just do whatever you want with.